but it felt like 3 hours.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, one of the games that I have on here is Spellcasting 101. And the only reason that I have it on here is because every Monday night on Twitch TV/Seward, I play adventure games, except for this coming Monday night. I play old adventure games. I've been sort of moving through them chronologically, kind of, not really. And I got to the Spellcasting 101 game, which this was a series from, I think it was 1990 is when this one came out. Honestly, it's Harry Potter. Actually, after playing this, I almost find it hard to believe that J.K. Rowling didn't play these games at some point. But anyway, the full title is called Spellcasting 101 Sorcerers Get All the Girls. And it's kind of like originally I think it was almost like a Revenge of the Nerds style.
Is this
game.
This isn't part of the Simon the Sorcerer games, right?
No.
Okay.
No, this is different.
Okay.
So it's a text-based game, although it does have images on the screen if you want to have them on there, but they are interactive.
Oh, I remember
the game
this
is driven through a text, like a parser-based interface, and you're going to wizarding school. It really is Harry Potter,
but sexy.
But it was sort of the hook of it back then was it's like sort of that. It's sort of Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna go and just have sex with lots of co-eds.
Is this
that's
this
not
just
the only point of the game, but that's a major piece of the game.
It's fantasy Leisure Suit Larry,
kind of.
Yeah.
So anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up is because most of the time some of these games are, especially when you get outside of like the LucasArts games, and you're way back in like the late 80s and early 90s, a lot of these games you never figure them out on your own. And I don't want to spend hour upon hour upon hour figuring them out on my own. So we normally resort to a walkthrough eventually. With this game, I didn't. And at one point you get to an island. A lot of the game is put together by just, going to different islands with different themes. And one of the island themes is you get to this island in the Island of Lost Souls. I think it was actually spelled SOLES though. But anyway, there are 80 people on the island that have been enchanted to they're just everyday items, right? And so you go into each room or scene on this island and you'll see, like, if you look in the area, you'll get a list of a lot of things that are in the area. And so then you have to cast a spell on a name. And if you cast a spell on the name of somebody who has been turned into an item in that scene, they become human again, and you have to find 80 of these. And it can be as simple as like if there's a red-breasted bird singing in the forest, you cast the spell on Robin, and Robin appears. The bird disappears and Robin appears and thanks you and walks away. That sort of thing. But then there was another one where you're in the kitchen and there's a like cookie or cake batter, let's say, splattered all over the wall.
Okay.
And you cast a spell on Waldo, and Waldo appears. And so there's a lot of it's very punny. And the stream viewers and we spent 3 weeks doing this, just going through all these rooms and figuring out all these names. And it was so much fun. It was the best thing in the world. We ended up falling in love with this stupid little Spellcasting 101 game. But the other thing that I thought was really funny is it's very much of its time. So there's a lot of jokes in there that are absolutely not appropriate. Now,
if you do a Google
and they
image
weren't really
search
appropriate then
for this game, all it is screenshots of
sex,
women in lingerie, just lounging about.
So that's one of the things that I wanted to bring up. So there was a nice version of the game released too. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was just a setting you could set in the game itself, or if you had to actually buy the nice version. But the version that you can buy as the collection on Steam is the nice version. And the way that I found out about this is that there's actually in the original game, and if you in the original game, if you go to this one particular island, in the walkthrough called it this, it's called the Island of Horny Women. So it's very on the nose. And the whole idea is that it's a puzzle that you have to figure out, but you have to do it in the fewest amount of steps possible, because every time you sort of go to a different place, when you first get there, I knew horny women will show up and we'll have sex with you.
Okay.
And the idea is that you're so drained after a while that you die. Right. So
right. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
Anyway, in this version, it's the island of Amazons, and it's still a lot of these, like, they're clearly drawn based on like Playmate photography and stuff like that. But now, this is so bad. It's that there are no men on the island, which is the same as it was originally, but it's because of that, menial labor isn't getting done.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know how to program my VCR. So you go into a room and the woman pulls you aside and says, "We haven't been able to figure out how to program the VCR, so you got to do that." And then, it's as sexist as it sounds, and it's like the toilet's clogged. The toilet's been clogged for months, so we need a man to, plunge the toilet, and it's all that, but inappropriate, but also hilariously funny. That's what they came up with for the nice version, of the game. Anyway.
And this is
really enjoying this game.
I just looked this up. It's a Steve Meretzky game.
Yes, that's it.
Steve Meretzky did a lot of work at Infocom.
Yes,
back in the day on like the old Hitchhiker's Galaxy.
There are a lot of Hitchhiker references.
To the Galaxy game and Planetfall and Mind Forever Voyaging and a few other games like that.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because we as a group have. Like, nobody expected to really be enjoying this game that much.
Yeah.
Just like, well, let's play this because then I think the next one we're going to play is like Secret of Monkey Island. And everybody wants to,
of course,
do a playthrough of Secret of Monkey Island because it's Monkey Island. But
Monkey Island.
Now we're all kind of like, well, you know what? Let's keep going with this. Like, so anyway,